Hello, hello! The second part of the second season of Wednesday is almost upon us, and there are tons of theories about what's happening next. I have read those theories because I have nothing else to do with my life, and I will give you my take on them. Let's have a look. The most far-fetched theory that I have seen is that Enid is not who she appears to be because she's acting out of character and is thus body swapped all or some of the time. And I have to say about that, no. There is absolutely no indication of that. She's 100% acting in character and like a teenager who fell in with a new crowd during summertime and needed to painfully break up with her previous boyfriend. Also, half a season is a long time to have someone swapped. It basically would negate all the character interactions and development between her and Wednesday, so no, Enid is just Enid. Other than being damseled twice by Agnes and by that vision, she hasn't had much to do with any of the plot lines, so not sure how a body double for Enid would make a difference. However, that's not to say that there is not a body swap situation in store for us. Two scenes in the newly released material point to a potential Freaky Friday situation between Enid and Wednesday. We have this scene in which Enid and Wednesday seemingly bump into each other in a cemetery. And crucially, this scene where two figures, one of which is recognizably Enid and the other a smaller one, appears to be unknown. But maybe it's just Jenna Ortega with her hair loose and a top that would be something Enid would wear if she had been body swapped with Wednesday? Yes, I can buy that. I'm willing to consider this as something that will keep us busy while we get to the season finale. Then, as we have now established that the woman that Wednesday released was Tyler's mom and not Ophelia, we need a new Ophelia! One theory is that, as we haven't seen Lady Gaga, she will be Ophelia. Of course, we have been told that she will play Rosalind Rotwood, a legendary Nevermore teacher, but maybe she will be Ophelia, pretending to be Rotwood, and maybe also Agnes is her daughter. That is supported by Gaga being blonde, as Ophelia is usually portrayed in Addams Family lore as being blonde. Also no to all of that. Not just because neither Gaga nor Ophelia have to be blonde. I mostly doubt that they would cast such a big name to play Ophelia. While I know that Gaga is not a bad actress, having had mixed results in her career on the big screen, I think that they would go for someone with face rather than name recognition. Like a competent actress that we wouldn't know from the headlines. Kinda like Frances O'Connor, to be honest. I expect that we will most likely get like an extended cameo from Gaga, like Rosalind Rotwood, visiting her former cottage, only to find it completely refurbished or something. And as for Agnes, I really think she does not have further nefarious plans in the season. She gave us 2 good episodes of stalker mystery, but frankly, it has been embarrassingly easy for her to thwart the mighty Wednesday. And if she wished her ill, she could do it in any of the times she has been caught hiding in their dorm room. Then there's the theory that Isadora Capri is Ophelia. There's a few problems with that. Unless she has also changed her appearance, she would definitely be recognized by Morticia and the rest of the clan. For example here, when she's sharing a touching duet with Morticia by the fire. Also, if she can change her appearance, why go to all the trouble to pretend she's a former musical child prodigy that wants to give back to the community? And thirdly, I guess, they would surely not go for a second season in a row for the whole teacher who does not appear to be who they are. Yes? I certainly don't think she's just a music teacher. I like better the theory that says that she's related to Brian the zombie. Maybe a sister that has come back to Nevermore to investigate what happened to Brian. There is a connection between them, as she was the one playing zombie on the piano during the mayhem scene in Willow Hill. But maybe that's a bit too on the nose. Maybe it's just a really good tune to play over scenes of Bedlam. Which brings us to Brian himself. I know that he's technically a brain-eating zombie at the moment, but I do believe that he's coded by the show as a good guy. In that he has mostly eaten bad or annoying people, and some possibly innocent Willow Hill guards in self-defense. Although given their firepower, one has to wonder about how unaware they were of all the horrors going on in that hellhole. And there's also the fact that he has been friendly to Pugsley and Eugene, and treated almost as a comic relief by the Addamses. He clearly has an important role to play, either as a victim or maybe an accomplice thrown under the bus by Dr. Stonehurst. There's also the theory that he's a Rotwood and that Lady Gaga will be his sister. But honestly, Rotwood is just a surname at the moment, so not sure how that adds to anything. I do think that Outcast supremacy / weaponization will be part of the final narrative, as we have seen hints of that both in the Stonehurst storyline and in Barry Dort's proclamations. Remember that Gus Stonehurst maintained a Renaissance club of talented outcasts in the school, and Dort has spoken of outcast pride and banned the night shades to abolish potential sources of insubordination to his power within the school. The common elements between the two storylines are the Da Vinci students, who could be the successors of the Renaissance Club, the flying of that raven during the opening ceremony, as the Renaissance students had also made a bird in honor of Gus Stonehurst, and Iago Tower, which was the former aviary of Stonehurst, the place where Brian was blown up, and the place where Barry Dort has placed a large F while trying to convince Hester Frump to part with her money. And we see Wednesday with an axe doing some damage there in the trailer. And let me just reiterate my theory. I say reiterate, but you probably haven't watched my previous videos because hardly anyone has. So for the first time for most of you, Ophelia, the mysterious sister of Morticia, a psychic who likes birds, is inducing deathly visions to Wednesday, and according to the released material for the second part of the season, is finding other ways to psychically torment Wednesday in order to get back to Hester and Morticia for real or perceived grievances. I mean, Hester is a piece of work, and Morticia was definitely a brat back in the day. Just to be clear, this is definitely not beloved principal whims, but rather a way that a still unseen and unknown Ophelia has found to torment Wednesday. And that's it for today. That's already too much theorizing. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking or subscribing. As always, thank you for watching.